Dynamite, descent flight level 260.
Level 260, 316, Dynamite.
Golf Papa Tango, X-ray Charlie, in case of level change, do you prefer climb or descent by 1,000 feet?
We can only descend, Golf X-ray Charlie, but as I say, we prefer to remain at the same level to keep clear of clouds for now.
Back to Valencia.
Yes, for the moment it's fine at 310, so continue, I'll turn it back for descent.
Well, I want you to 235, okay, Michael, keep it up, go.
Dynamite, descent level 250.
Level 250, so contact Dynamite.
Contact radar 128.05, goodbye.
Train 05, so contact Dynamite.
Train Salvation 1 Victor Lima, descent flight level 240, rate of descent 1,500.
This is 169 Mike, descent flight level 240 and speed 240 knots. Descent level 240 and speed 240 knots, the contact Dynamite. Descent level 130. 130, contact below, steady, plenty of time rate. Alright, got 200. Roger, for speed reduction, contact now arrival, 135, decimal 230. 135, 230, is Radar hello, on the 570, flight level 104, landing flight level 120 in 1 meter. 303, 570, flight level 6, drive to flight level 240. Land flight level 240, Austrian, 570.
It's about the 7th time I'm trying to get to Valencia. I'll explain. Endless problems.
631, hello, identified. Ryanair 2, uniform Golf. Ryanair 2, Corsair, good afternoon, level 3, Niner, gearing bound Delhi. Ryanair 2, uniform Golf, good afternoon, to Corsair, direct to Dina. Direct to Dina, Ryanair 2, uniform Golf. Departing flight is completely descent, flight level 150.
Okay, we're now descending down into Valencia. So yeah, this is about my several attempts. Let's see, had problems with Z-Bone mod. Earlier version, more problems with Z-Bone mod. Slightly later version, problems with scenery, and then earlier today on this flight, problem not long after departure where it all hung and froze and stuff, and yeah, it's been frustrating. It has been very frustrating. Anyway, we're now descending into Valencia for the 10 billionth time. Eindhoven has certainly become a very familiar airport with me on X-Plane recently. One way or another. Anyway, I fixed the scenery at Valencia. Still quite a undulating runway, certainly nowhere near as bad. Obviously I didn't upload that flight, but pretty much it was like there's this crazy zigzags up and down. And yeah, that was as soon as I tried to, there's no flat area. As soon as I touched down, it said I'd crashed basically. So yeah, had hope in hell of landing on a runway like that. But hopefully it's one of the last few rogue ortho tiles, and that won't come across anymore. I'd like to think I finally found them all. Never say never. So yeah, we're now actually on Zibo mod level. It hung there and I was waiting for it to... We're now on Zibo mod 3.37, because when I rolled back to 3.34, that I forgot had the top of descent bug, so basically simulator crash top of descent. And so we're on 3.37 now, and it seems to be, well, I don't really want to say, tempt fate. Wait till we landed, and then I'll comment. We're back on Vivid Sky for the clouds. SkyMax Pro shows promise, but the thing that got me in the end, I managed to iron out the performance issues, because at one point it's having really bad performance, but the thing that got me in the end was just the abrupt weather transitions. 1 minute it'd be overcast and then poof, it would be clear, and that was just broke it for me really. So yeah, and I wasn't really convinced by some of the cloud depiction either, especially underneath it where it still looked bright white and everything. So yeah, I think I already touched upon in the video where I did kind of review it, is I really wouldn't bother getting it. I kind of wish I hadn't now. Total waste of time and money, to be honest with you. And I think ultimately that's going to be a big problem for X-Plane, especially with the advent of Microsoft Flight Simulator, is that, I'm not saying Microsoft Flight Simulator, the new one's going to be perfect, I'm sure it'll have its issues, but when you look at what they've put out there so far, and especially the weather depiction, I think that's really going to bring home how much behind X-Plane is. P3D is a little bit ahead, I'd say, in weather depiction, but X-Plane, if it wants to stay, say relevant, but if it wants to stay sort of mainstream, it's always going to be people who use it obviously, but if it really wants to stay sort of mainstream relevant, yeah, I will say relevant, then it really needs to do something about its weather depiction. Because aside from that, you can make it look really nice, you know, with the orthos, in good ortho coverage areas, you know, train looks really nice and everything. The graphics are, yeah, not bad. It's just the weather depiction that lets it down, primarily. So if they bring out an X-Plane, well, I know the X-Plane 11.5 is supposed to be the advent of Vulcan, which is supposed to improve performance. Remains to be seen how much it will improve performance. I suspect people may have unrealistically high expectations of how much it may improve performance on their systems, but you never know, it might be the magic bullet we're all looking for to squeeze out some extra better visual quality and FPS, etc. But it's going to be interesting once Microsoft Flight Simulator does drop what X-Plane and P3D do in response. X-Plane especially, because X-Plane is obviously very much geared towards the consumer market as such, whereas obviously P3D has always you know, got other simulator uses. Maybe X-Plane has too, to an extent, I don't know, but obviously Lockheed Martin can always make the money elsewhere, being an aerospace company, so if they decide not to continue on the simulator, it wouldn't surprise me actually. What they could offer, I don't know. I think X-Plane, yeah, I think we'll see an X-Plane 12. It'd be very interesting to see what they bring to the table. Obviously, they don't have the resources that Microsoft do, so they've got their work cut out. But you know, they've got a loyal following, and if they can keep tapping into that, I think they'll be all right. I do enjoy flying on X-plane for the most part, you know, aside from obviously the weather shortcomings. It does, as a simulator, does have a lot going for it, especially if you're on a lower budget, you know, because obviously you've got Zevo, which for all its problems, if you can find a working version, it's free and it's very good. Obviously Ortho for XP, the scenery I'm using is free, freeware airports. Yeah, I think the only real disappointments I've had on X-plane is with payware. I mean, the weather add-ons, X-Enviro, looks beautiful, looks stunning, but performance is atrocious, plagued by bugs here and there. SkyMax Pro I've already covered. Ultimate weather for X-plane. If you were going to buy one of the 3 main payware for X-plane, if you had to, if you've got a choice, I'd say don't. But let's just imagine you have to. I would go for Ultimate Weather for X-plane purely because it's got some nice sliders for settings in the sky colours, and the thing I really liked is the ability to change the brightness of near and far lighting. That I actually found quite useful. So if you had to go for one of the, you know, the weather packages, then yes, I would go for, because the great thing of that is you can still play around with your own cloud text, etc, etc. So yeah, I would go for Ultimate Weather for X-plane for sure. But overall, if you have a choice, don't get any of the payware. Everything you see here, cloud-wise, well, I'd tell a slight lie, because actually I was going to say it's freeware, it's not, is it? Because X-Vision is not freeware, but X-Vision comes with a Vivid preset with its own clouds. Yeah, so actually I'd say get X-Vision. Readjust my advice. Although X-Vision is more than just weather depiction, it's obviously a so yeah, scratch that. Don't get Ultimate Weather for X-plane, just get X-Vision. That's all you need. So decent payware for X-plane, yeah, X-Vision. Good value for money. XP Realistic, most definitely get hold of that. What else do I own payware wise? Flight Factor A320. Yeah, it's alright. Works well. Works very nicely with the sound pack. So yeah, go for that. Although obviously I can't comment on the Toulouse. Although they don't make an A320 deal, they just do the A319, A321. Although that is very highly regarded in the community. So it depends what kind of Airbus you want. I'm happy enough in the Flight Factor. Anyway, we are descending down through 18,000 now, so we're going to flick on the seatbelts. We're going to arm that ready. We're going to... Oh, I'm probably going to need to engage that in a minute. Switch back over to local QNH. So we're inbound, of course, Ryanair out of Eindhoven. It's reasonably nice weather here in Alicante, Valencia even. The winds are even worse than they were when I mucked this up yesterday. Variable wind direction, so it's quite a breezy one. Winds variable at 26, gusting 40. So we're in for a good ride here. So we need to add 13 onto the wind component. So this is going to be a breezy one for this landing, and plus the gust. So let's say we're going to add half a wind speed, all of the gust. I'm not going to add all of the gust on actually. So I'll tell you what, no, I am actually. So let's put a component on of about plus 20 on the wind direction there. So we're going to be landing at a speed of 153. Because it's a breezy one. And it is a breezy one. City-wise, we're off to the bottom there, so we are just passing Castellón de la Plana, apparently. Ahead of us you can see the city of Valencia, and then the airport's just over there somewhere. Continuing our descent down through 15,000 feet. we'll probably have to vector ourselves a little bit to make sure we're down at an appropriate altitude.
119.355
Pretty clear weather here, and it's just windy as hell. Gusting 40, jeez. That's pretty intense, isn't it? Should make for an although it's a little bit there, but it's mostly straightly down the runway. So yeah, we'll have some fun with this. And don't forget, as I said, the runway is anything but flat here, just for the added challenge. Zurich radar is live ATC feed. I was trying to use Lisbon, but I couldn't really seem to get any anything off that. And you see here, I mean, you can't really see, there's this funny little squiggle on the turn, so that's probably why I'll vector myself as we get lower. Let's start slowing ourselves down now. I'm going to get that speed down.
Hello, EG5 on November Tango, flight level 36067. EG5 on November Tango, hello, squawk 2740,
So yeah, we're pretty good on the altitude at the moment. Let's get our lights on. So we're going to need, obviously, our landing turn-offs. Put them all on ready. Seatbelts, as I said, were already on, so we're good for those. Let's get that speed brake out again, because the speed seems to keep creeping up. There we go, let's bleed that speed off. Valencia ahead of us, as I already mentioned. This Geo wants us at 4,000 feet, and I can't believe we didn't want us that low that quickly. Move out from 3,500 above down to 2,000 for the intercepts. There we go, we're getting a little bit of buffeting from the wind. We've still got our speed brake out, as you can see. Yeah, we're getting whacked about a bit by the turbulence, as you would expect for these conditions. Yeah, you can see now what I mean about the crazy squiggle, can't you? So yeah, we will carry on our descent. I will stay the brakes, arm them. Speed's still creeping up. So yeah, as I say, Valencia off to our right there. We will let's sort the heading out. A little bit difficult because of the turbulence. Okay, let's put heading select on BS, we'll keep that, we'll keep the speed. In fact, actually, I'll change my mind, we're going to slow the speed to 220. We've already switched over to local QNH. I don't know why the speed's running away with me, because we're not descending at too great a rate or not, so are we? Frustrating.
1500 feet, okay. 170, 2300. 170, 2300, on SATA-III. Below 617 Charlie, contact with Nevada 8, 95, 120. Please from 17 Charlie, please try to identify, climb to climb level 240.
So yeah, you can see the turbulence, can't you? We are getting buffeted about a fair bit here. Speed is really erratic on the Zeebo. It does like to jump around quite a fair bit. As you can see, that's because of the gusts. It is gusting quite a lot, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that, otherwise I'm going to get caught out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start getting the flaps out, help slow myself down. Get flaps 5 already. And yeah, I love it when it does that. So one thing that cheeses me off with just on here please, there we go. If it's not too much trouble for you. There we go. Slow myself down to 180. What did I say the landing speed was going to be? 153 landing speed. Let's stow that. There we go. Oh yeah, well we're well below the
Bell's gonna go.
We're getting whacked around by the I'll tell you what, the water looks nice, doesn't it? Hey, this is gonna be an interesting landing.
$2,500.
61 Victor Romeo, proceed to Rosa lockdown.
We're in for quite an arrival, I think. We have the runway in sight there. Here we are returning round onto it now. Approach on. Yeah, this is going to make for a fun landing. Really wasn't expecting it to be quite so windy in Valencia, but it's blowing an absolute storm up. See? That's the gusts. That's really going to make life interesting. Okay, let's slow ourselves right down now. 153, we said for landing. Here, we'll get the gear down. And, oh my word, this is going to make for an interesting one, that's for sure.
Hello, you're identified.
There we go. We are. I think the passengers up the back aren't going to be. Not going to be too happy, are they? Look at that. That's. Oh, look at the way that is gusting up and down there. Okay, we're going to earn our money for this one, that's for sure. Okay, so gears down 3 green, flaps 30, speed brakes deployed. The weather is absolutely, wind-wise, atrocious. Really strong winds, giving me quite the ride. Although, when I had this before up at Manchester on X-Plane, all of a sudden when I got near the ground it got smooth. I hope that doesn't happen this time. I hope it's going to... Ooh, my word, that's some more gusting. I hope it's going to stay true. We are... yeah. Hey! Whoa, my God, we're going to lose it in a minute. Gee, my word. I tell you what, holy smokes, that is pretty intense. I think I need to, no actually I don't need to do anything to turbulence settings, because I think that's probably a little, how the frick am I supposed to land this thing?
1,000 feet, stabilize.
Okay, let's take the auto throttle off. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. Oh my God.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Oh, I got some wind shear warnings. Finally. Yeah. You don't say. So in reality, you'd most definitely want to be going around by about now. But let's at least try and make the runway here, hey folks. Oh, we're high. Oh my word. That was intense. That was fun. I really seriously enjoyed that. Oh yeah, there we go. Welcome to Valencia. And what a ride that was. What a ride. Can't wait to watch the replays of this one. That wind shear on final. It's we kept going. Welcome to a very windy Valencia. We somehow made that down. I'll give you the landing rate in a minute. Oh, that was something, wasn't it? I tell you what, the landing rate was actually minus 100. I managed to batter it. I don't think we're very close to the centre line though. We did float that out rather. I'm just realised I'm not on any actual taxiway here, am I? We did float that out rather a lot, didn't we? But anyway, let's park ourselves up over here and go check out that replay, because that was quite the ride.
Uniform and ready, stand by a star, flight level 250.
Here we are. We'll just park out. Okay. Yeah, never mind. Just ignore this. Okay. There we are. Perfect parking. Parking brake on. Cat fuel. And there we go. We have finally completed our Valencia flight, and we were treated with a real fun arrival, weren't we?
Building 180 Juliet, climb to flight level 390, proceed direct to Benot.
Finally got. That's the first time I've ever heard the wind shear warning.
So 38 X-ray Tango, contact the Hans 128 to simulate 35, have a good day.
So yeah, we well, tell you what, I don't think. Ooh, look at that! There we go. This is going to be fun. Look at this! Look at this! There we go. You can see how uneven that runway is. Certainly not as bad as when I tried to land on it the other day. And then all of a sudden, the wind's going to really dip here. And yeah, there it is, see? And then, we battle across, and somehow get it somewhere near the... Oh yeah, there we go, boom.
12 minutes to the military. Not timing 120 March.
And we'll get a wing view, of course, in a minute. Cool. That looked a lot firmer than minus 100. I tell you, these calculation landing rate things are out. That was definitely more than 100. Anyway, here's the wing view. Look at this. We're really getting smashed around here. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this. I realise you had a choice of flights. Thank you very much for choosing this one. I wish you a pleasant onward browsing journey, and hope to welcome you back on board another flight in the very near future. You can see what a dip in the runway there is here. I literally landed in the dip. That's probably why it just dropped down like it did, and then way there we go. Look at that. And bang. Actually, I'm gonna I use that as my
Further clearance in 1 minute, military traffic below. Roger.
And we like that. Anyway, that's it from me. Until next time, farewell for now.
405.